Hello, everyone. I'm about to upload a video of about 1.5 hours in length. But before I do, I want to upload this video, basically explaining where I've been, what I've been doing. I know there's a lot of speculation, and I want to clarify what's going on here. Unfortunately, I'm losing my voice. I'm recovering from a bad cough, so just bear with me here. First, let me address rumors. No, I did not get married. No, I do not cohabitate with my girlfriend. And yes, I'm still with my girlfriend, by the way. This has been a fairly persistent rumor that I stopped making videos because, I eloped or something along these lines. This is false, simply not true, and not a single person I saw spreading that rumor ever actually asked me if this is true via email or social media. But I can, however, understand why someone would make that assumption. I've been gone for a very long time. But again, it's just not true. The extent of the time I spend with my girlfriend are constrained to the weekends. We're going foraging for morel mushrooms today, and that was the extent of our time together for this week. Now, the reason that I stopped making videos for an extended period of time is because of a number of different factors, most of which had to do with employment more than anything else. So, what follows is, I hope, a detailed explanation. And I'm uploading this video in order to try to keep the commentary about this here, because again, I have a 1.5 hour video just uploading, and I want to keep the content relevant to that video on that video. So first, I've had a number of different job changes. I don't know why or how, but it seems all of a sudden that my skill set has become in demand all of a sudden. And thus, in the period since I stopped making videos, I switched jobs twice, each time for higher pay, but arguably higher stress, and highly technical positions in the manufacturing engineering field. My current place of employment has also paid for a full reimbursement of any job related schooling I want, and as such, I've been back in school. And that's all I'm going to say about my job duties, but I wish to make it clear that my time has not been being wasted on, marriage or courting single mothers or anything like that. No. I'm either commuting, working, or studying for on average 14 hours out of the day. On top of this, I've been, of course, trying to complete this book, which, and I'll just say it, I failed you guys on. I want to be clear that, I've never stopped working on this book and fully intend to complete it without question, but I failed you guys on time. And frankly, I'm ashamed about that. And so all I want to do by returning to YouTube, on this channel is just to rectify this mistake, do right by you guys by completing the book, which is at this point, about 150,000 words in and counting. I admittedly, severely underestimated the length of this project and the amount of time it would take at several points in time. I was in fact ready to release it, only to get wrapped up in another avenue of research, and I do think that this will ultimately make the final project better, but it came at the cost of delaying the finished product, and this is no excuse, of course, but at least, it's an attempt at an explanation. To my knowledge, several topics covered in this book have either never been discussed in MGTOW or have been discussed very little. And of course, this book will discuss MGTOW and the philosophy behind it and history of it and all that. But there's a large portion of it that simply explains the issues that have led MGTOW to where they are in novel ways. There's topics on male disposability that have not yet been covered, like medical experimentation on men and boys for the benefit of wider society, which is written on extensively and thoroughly researched. I mean, there's topics in this book that just honestly haven't been explored, and despite having failed you guys, in that regard, I think that when you see the finished product, it will go a long way toward redeeming myself in the eyes of those I've failed. And yes, so with that said, I ask you guys to be more patient. I know that you guys should have had a finished product a long time ago, but give me basically, whatever time I need, and I will not disappoint you guys again. I never stopped working on this, and in my opinion, everyone who reads this will learn something new or at least see something they already knew from a different perspective. So if this channel has provided any value to you over the years, then all I ask is you guys give me the chance to make this right. Now, with that said, there are several things that I need to make clear that are unrelated to the book about my returning to YouTube to make videos again. And first and foremost, I want to clarify that I am here to generate interesting and thought-provoking content, and that I will not be participating in YouTube squabbles or beefs or drama at all, period. There are, despite me never having any interest in it, people within the MGTOW community that believe that I was in any way, shape, or form some sort of unofficial leader of MGTOW and that I, abandoned the community. My failure to deliver to you what I promised you in the form of a book, that's legitimate criticism and one that I hope to rectify. But I never was and never will be any kind of leader of MGTOW. I never wished to be. Some people have projected that onto me. And while I admit that I may be, fed into this sometimes by using my platform to defend the MGTOW community on certain issues, I never have wanted to be some kind of MGTOW leader, and I've never fashioned myself as such. I think the very concept of there being leaders of MGTOW invalidates the whole concept of it. I perhaps was in my heyday an influential MGTOW, but never a leader of any MGTOW community. And as such, I am not returning to YouTube to argue with people about the state of MGTOW or attempt to revitalize it to its former glory or anything like that. I bring this up because people have been pressuring me to attack other people who identify as MGTOWs for a whole host of reasons, and I'm simply not going to do that. I'm not here to start beefs. I will not be responding to any people who make videos about me trying to pull me into YouTube drama. I will make the content I want on this channel, and that will be that. What other people do on their channels is their business. The content on this channel will concentrate on the subjects that are of interest to me. And this will not always be about MGTOW, by the way. There's an entire world out there, and I will, of course, continue to make MGTOW content. But it will be under the explicit understanding that I am not some MGTOW leader, and I will not go around policing other people or content. My job here is to make enjoyable content, and that's what I wish to do. I'm of the opinion that every moment I spend getting into some response video war or some never-ending comment section debate is another moment that I can't make interesting content on this channel. So I'm simply going to stop doing it, period, point blank. I know I've got into it with people in the past, but I'm not doing that anymore. And if someone comes on here trying to stoke up some beef or animosity or whatever, I'm simply just going to block them and keep it moving. I'm not wasting my time with that. My time away from YouTube has given me some perspective regarding these things. And what I've discovered is simply that life is better without never-ending conflict. I'd rather be, foraging for morel mushrooms or hiking or reading than fighting with people online. And if you guys don't believe me, then just do it yourself, Experience the real world outside of, YouTube with the very little free time that you probably have for an extended period and tell me if you'd rather be fighting and bickering with people online. I'm not here to be a culture warrior. I'm not here to change anything. I'm just here to share ideas and hopefully someone will benefit from them. It's that simple. So uploads from here on out will be much less frequent, but much longer and more thoroughly researched. And they'll essentially be basically mini documentaries from here on out. And first and foremost, I want to make it clear that they will be 100% self-funded from here on out. No more PayPal, no more Patreon after the book is done. I never want to do anything that I haven't paid for out of my pocket again. This will ensure that things like this situation with the book won't ever happen, ever again, at least. But also, I want to start doing something different in regards to generating content, in that I want to start generating a small MGTOW economy. Instead of asking for donations, I'm going to start finding talented MGTOW whom have no interest in, marriage or gynocentric institutions. And I'm going to start hiring them to do my editing on projects related to MGTOW and projects unrelated to MGTOW as well. My sound quality hasn't always been the best. My video quality hasn't always been the best. And, I'm going to start paying people to do those things for me from here on out. And those people will be, MGTOW that, I think, are skilled and competent. It won't be much. I mean, you're not going to get rich doing this stuff, but it's, I will start paying people. I think at the end of the day, the best way to help other MGTOW is to put money in his pocket for services rendered. And to give you an idea of this, after I finish the book, for example, I'll be working on a project completely unrelated to MGTOW, inspired by the book American Serengeti and others, in which the incredible amount of biodiversity and sheer abundance of the American Great Plains are discussed before large-scale settlement occurred. It goes through the history of the pronghorn antelope, which were so numerous that they numbered in tens of millions, but were decimated almost to extinction, but have, through conservation efforts, made a substantial recovery. This may sound boring to some people, But to me, it's an incredibly interesting history, one which I want to tell, and I will need a competent editor for this. And again, I intend to pay for those services, and I want my money to go to other MGTOW, so that's what I'm going to do. And of course, my MGTOW content will continue. As I mentioned, I just uploaded an hour and a half video of content about how domineering women charged with the rearing of boys go on to create violent men. This will not stop. And, this topic is explored in exponentially greater detail in my book, but I can give you guys just a small taste of one of the many topics I'm going to be addressing. But in conclusion, these are my plans. I know I failed you. Life unfortunately got in the way, and I want to make that right, and deliver what I promised. I know I've disappointed many of you, but I want a chance to make that right. And, after that, I just want to step aside and do my thing here on this channel without all the unnecessary drama and bullshit. And, anybody who wants to help, that's much appreciated. This is my explanation, and I'm trying to just, let you guys know what happened. That's all I have to say for now.